Hi, and welcome to the video series where we did a restoration and modification of a 1995 Volvo 850 Turbo. The people that own this vehicle has owned it since new, and they had a failing transmission, and instead of taking the car to the salvage yard, they decided to convert it to manual and do a full mechanical restoration on it. So thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the series, and let's get started. Kicked off the Tinker Day, decided to do these heater hoses. I pulled the hose loose from the side of the engine and it jerked. When it did, it snapped it loose from the firewall junction. Man, that's kind of tough. No way that firewall junction was going to make it. And I ordered the firewall junction and the pipes going to the heater core as well, because this car is an early 95. And those pipes coming from the firewall junction down to the heater core are steel instead of aluminum. If you got the aluminum ones, you don't need that. If you have the steel ones, I would normally recommend removing those steel pipes just to make it all aluminum lifetime part. So, get ready to take that firewall junction thing loose, go inside, get a trash bag and take that loose from the inside so we can expedite getting that done. Next thing I'm going to do is clean these 3 pipes off where these hoses connect. When I get the new hoses, it's supposed to be overnighted here tomorrow. I'll connect those in and be done with that. And then I'm going to hook up this bracket system for these cables and hook these cables up. Then I'm going to hook up this hydraulic line to the clutch system and the internal slave and go ahead and bleed the brake system of this old fluid. We got the heater core and line stuff out. We're going to move on to the next task at hand. After 3 full days of charging, this thing is up to 5% health. It says replace. I'm not sure how this car will start with 150 cold cranking amps. But man, that's crazy. I got this torn up, I guess, fender well liner off. When these things are on right, it helps prevent rust. But somebody drilled some holes in the top of this fender and those rivets were rusting, and now it's starting to rust the fender. And there's a little rust there. That probably needs to be treated before this goes back on with another one. Then you got some rust there. You just good to have these in shape, especially if you're in the rust belt, to prevent rust from building up in these places. There was a lot of dirt built up in this mud flat. You also don't want that going on. All right, let me get the other one off. There's a lot of dirt still in here, and this is the dirt that's building up in that. It's got holes in it, so you should make sure that that's cleared out. All right, let's move to the other side. Could not get the fender well skirt off the other side because of the type of rivets that was used. So I'm going to raise this engine up about 1 inch and try to get that subframe installed. I was sitting here doing a little work, and Mita spotted a rubbish person way up the alleyway. Somebody had a truck up there, almost where you seen that car just flash by. There's a basketball goal there. Right up by that basketball goal, loading the truck. So I said, when they come down here, stop them. They could take these control arms and old rotors and that transmission. And they pulled down. We almost missed her. I yelled at the vehicle. It stopped. A lady came out, hustling her butt off. She took that transmission, all these rotors, control arms, everything. Took all our scrap metal. I'm so grateful. But, you know, I feel some kind of way that guys be sitting around and this lady is running her own rubbish truck, picking up metal through the neighborhood. So, no excuse for not getting to work. Let me get back to work. Had the oil cooler lines removed and a block off plate installed. Got the radiator out. The radiator was leaking, had a minor leak in it. So we got that out, getting ready to replace it with a Cryomax. I hadn't seen Cryomax for a while, and I almost thought that there was no more available. I kind of liked them back 10 years ago, and now I found out that Alex has a bunch of those things. The problem with them is they're made for the NA cars with a automatic transmission. However, if you delete your oil cooler lines, they work just fine, which what we're doing, and we're deleting the transmission cooler lines. So this is going to work perfect for us. It had a Nissan's radiator in it. Not sure how old it is, but you can see where it's leaking there. One other spot it was leaking at, so we're getting that replaced. Got a brake booster hose hooked up. We got the largest hose the auto parts store had, and it wasn't big enough to fit on those fittings. So I attached it with some silicone, got that secure. Not perfect, so I'll probably get some hose the proper size and replace that as soon as I can find some. Then I got the hydraulic line hooked up to the transmission. I got the PMP switch wire and harness prepared to go together. Cut that speed sensor off. I gotta connect those wires to ABS wires. Not sure where I'm going to do that at. That ABS stuff comes up here to this big wire harness and goes in there, so I got to decide how I'm going to deal with that, because I got to basically piggyback off of the wires that go to the sensor down here so I could get the speed sensor for the cruise control and stuff like that to work, because this transmission doesn't have the same speed sensor setup that the other one had. And I was looking for a speed sensor plug on this, and I don't see one. Some of these cars have a speed sensor plug, some of these transmissions. And I guess this manual one doesn't have one, so it probably gets this information from the ABS module, which this car doesn't have that type of module. It has this computer system here. So let me figure out what I'm going to do with that wiring for my speed sensor signal. And in the meantime, I got my overnight package in for my e-brake cables. So I'm going to hook those up. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining. So go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.